That's it. And now it's Ukraine, Russia. Ukraine and Russia. That's all I'm seeing now. And it's, I think I'm going somewhere else now. I'd rather not go into. So, next up, Seattle eviction ban has lifted, and landlords are taking action. Here's what you need to know coming up next. Good morning and welcome back. You're listening to KC Genesis in the AM. I'm your host, KC Genesis. Man, I don't know what it is, but I really love saying that. It sounds so professional. Like, even though I'm not professional, I'm not even nowhere near close as professional. But man, I like saying, I like, I like saying it. It feels like authentic. But first time in my life, I'm not a fake bitch. Also, yeah, I believe I had some Chipotle earlier. Like before I went to work. So that's probably why. For the stomach bug. I also had some other stuff too. Like oranges. And let's see. I had tea too, and I just had a chocolate bar. So, whoops. Kind of did that myself. But hey, I was hungry, man. And, working night shift is no fun either. And so, once you get on night shift, you gotta, like, watch what you eat because that shit can affect your health. You know, um, as far as, like, putting on pounds, yeah, it's just your mental health as well. So, but yeah, it's just kind of like my regular thing, especially like after 12 a.m. I usually have some tea, oolong tea, and oranges. And I usually don't eat chocolate around at nighttime, but just this one time, I was like really hungry, and so I, I just had a chocolate bar, you know? It was dark chocolate, and it had like peanut butter in it, so it, it wasn't like the healthiest thing, but it was like kind of healthy. Dark chocolate is good for you. It was organic, so yeah, man. But still, like all this shit. Then plus, the Chipotle bowl I had before I started work. Yeah, that didn't really add up too well. Hmm. So, eh, my bad. But yeah, Seattle Times says Seattle eviction ban has lifted and landlords are taking action. Here's what you need to know about it. Trevor Rickdown has a plan for the next week. Pick up as many Instacart and DoorDash trips as he can, looking to average 10 to 12 hours of work each day. I have to get on that and just work as hard as possible, Rickdown said. Rickdown is counting down the days because last week his landlord issued him a 14-day notice to pay the month's rent he owes or leave his Capitol Hill micro studio, even with his array of new city and state protections, including the right to a payment plan. The notice is a source of anxiety because it is the first step toward potential eviction. I'm extremely worried, of course, Rickton said. For nearly 2 years, Seattle's eviction moratorium helped tenants who fell behind on rent avoid eviction and drew criticism from landlords who said they were struggling to cover their own bills. Rent assistance was sometimes slow to come by, frustrating advocates on both sides. Last week, the moratorium expired, opening a new chapter, the return of payment-related eviction notices, new demand for financial and legal help, and a test of new tenant protections meant to keep people housed. because of sometimes lengthy legal processes. The scale of evictions won't be cleared for some time, but the days just before and after the end of the moratorium, have brought an uptick in calls for help, service providers say. Everyone's in panic mode of what to do and who's going to get served with remaining rent assistance funds, said Lauren McGowan, Associate Vice President of United Way of King County. The Housing Justice Project, which represents the King County tenants facing the eviction, is receiving 150 to 200 calls a day, up from 40 to 50 about 6 months ago, said Senior Managing Attorney Edmund Witter. Many callers are looking for help catching up on their rent, but HJP only has the resources to help people actively facing eviction. The city's renting in Seattle hotline has also seen an influx of calls. In 2021, the hotline averaged about 270 calls per month, according to data from the Department of Construction and Inspections. In January, it received 343 calls, and in February, the number jumped to 527 calls. Weekly data shows call numbers rose from around 82 calls weekly during the first 5 weeks of the year to an average of 153 the last 4 weeks. Starting the week, Mayor Bruce Harrah announced the end of the moratorium. Thank you, Bruce, you prick. With an array of new state and city laws in effect. Both landlords and tenants are unsure of their rights, said Neil Simpson, spokesperson for Solid Ground, which runs the tenant message line. Everybody's kind of confused about what they can and cannot do, Simpson said. And our message really is that renters still have rights. There are still protections in place. There are still options. Rent assistance running out. A key piece of the safety net for tenants like Rigdon throughout the pandemic has been hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funds for emergency rent assistance. Those funds flowed to local governments and payments were distributed directly to landlords. Rigdon said he lost work at the Westin downtown early in the pandemic when hotels and restaurants were hard hit by shutdown orders. The well-paid front of the housework he depended on still hasn't fully returned to pre-pandemic levels. He said during the last 2 years he has relied on gig work and for a time another restaurant job to make ends meet, but expenses add up each month, especially for the car and phone necessary for delivery work. Rigdon fell behind on rent for months and received about $16,000 in rent assistance last year. He said, "Without that, I would be homeless, and not a question about that one," Rigdon said. And then it says tens of thousands of tenants have applied for rent assistance, but local officials will run out of funds before serving all of them. King County has spent $227 million in federal funds on rent assistance since last year. About 47,400 households have applied for help, and the county no longer takes applications because it is best to run out of money before serving everyone who has applied. Officials expect 7,000 to 8,000 tenants who apply to be left without help. Man, I tell you, man, like people like me, people who have that job security, like the ones that works from home, man. We should be very lucky and thankful to have something, like that secure. Because people like Rigdon, the ones who are just struggling to get by, the ones who are let go because of the pandemic, man. Like, just send them all the strength, that they need because they're the ones that are struggling. Just yeah, man. It's a rough time. It's a tough times right now, and it feels like that we have no right to complain about our situation. I know I'm trying to get out of this night shift lifestyle, but man, like I'm just thankful to have something, thankful and blessed. I'm not that religious, but I am blessed. I would say I am blessed. Just continue to send, you know, these people, just strength and blessings, man. And I wish I had like GoFunds, from like all these people. So I don't know what little I can provide, Cause yeah, it's just some sucks ass, man. Continuing on, up next we have Sebastian Stan says that losing weight for Pam and Tommy contributed to his body dysmorphia. We have more on that next. Good morning, I'm your host, Casey Genesis, and you're listening to the AM show. Who has been keeping up with Sebastian Stan? I call him Stan Sebastian. Stan Sebastian. That's what I call him. I don't know, cause it feels like he has two first names, and then he's been making some really good films recently. With him and with Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, and then what else he put out? He recently put out this one movie on Hulu. It's called Fresh, and I swear, man, that's like one of the most sickening, vile movies I've ever seen. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but please go see it. It's out on Hulu, and it's called Fresh. Like at first, I didn't really know like what it was about. Like I read the description of it, I was like, that's pretty interesting. And then, so I played it, and then I looked at it. I was like, whoa, that's Dan Sebastian. The fuck, yo, that's cool. And man, it's wow. I told myself yesterday that I was gonna watch it again today. Not today, but yesterday, like at work when I'm working, but I never got around to it. It's a very busy day for me, busy night for me. But he also stars in a series with I've got this actress. She seems pretty brand new, but they both play in a series called Pam and Tommy, and it's based on the relationship of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee from Motley Crue, and Pamela Anderson from I believe Baywatch. Yeah, Baywatch. So they both star in that. Stan Sebastian and this other actress chick, and the roles they play, man, it is so good. But like they got the roles down packed, man, and it just tells a story about them, like their relationship, and then the tape that was released, and it provides so much